the 3.74 GPA as a senior management major. She's currently ranked 8th in the nation and is the Pac-12 leader in blocks per set with 1.5 blocks per set. And she also passed Claire Martin to have the second most blocks in WSU history. Let's move it to football, and pretty much every sports site is projecting that the WSU Cougars will play in the Jimmy Kimmel LA Bowl, although it has not been officially announced. Their projected opponent is Boise State. The official announcement for WSU's bowl game will come Sunday, December 4th, and recently WSU has not been super great in their bowl games. They've lost 4 of their last 5, with their only win coming in the 2018 Alamo Bowl. They're looking to end a 2-game bowl losing streak with losses in the Cheez-It Bowl and last year in the Sun Bowl. But good news, Armani Marsh is expected to play in the bowl game after missing the Apple Cup, according to Coach Jake Dicker. But that's not the only good news for WSU personnel, as Brennan Jackson, their edge rusher, said that he is going to be returning for his 6th season. Let's keep it in the college football realm. Conference championship weekend starts tonight with the Pac-12 championship game. The 10-1 USC Trojans look to avenge their only loss on this season and likely clinch a college football playoff berth with a win over the 9-3 Utah Utes. Heisman betting favorite Caleb Williams and the Trojans kick off in Vegas at 5 p.m. on Fox. But let's take a look at the other Power 5 conference championships happening on Saturday. In the Big 12 championship, the undefeated TCU Horned Frogs go up against the Kansas State Wildcats at 9 a.m. on ABC. The win would likely send TCU to the playoff for the first time. At 1 p.m. you have the SEC championship, where it matters more. Georgia is going up against LSU, and although Georgia is already likely in the playoff, a win would cement them in the #1 spot in the college football playoff rankings. Then at 5 p.m., 2 games going on. The Big Ten championship, Michigan versus Purdue on Fox, and the ACC championship between Clemson and North Carolina on ABC.
Well, unfortunately, the Cougs aren't playing in the Pac-12 championship. But Grady, can you please give us an update on the snow and what everyone can expect if they're staying home this weekend?
Yeah, absolutely. Today, first time I've ever walked to class in the past week and be like, oh, it's actually sunny outside. So that was a really nice thing to see. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration is what you guys are going to want to look at for the most updated snow forecast. So if you take a look at Pullman for that, just about an inch of snow is going to be coming on Sunday. Nothing today, nothing tomorrow. And then it's looking pretty relatively clear snow-wise all the way up until Thursday, when there's a 20% chance of snow. Obviously, snow levels fluctuate, and you can, as you know, if you live in Pullman, anything can happen. And so that's just kind of where you want to be looking. And as I said yesterday, some of these other ski mountains on the east side are going to be expecting about the same amount of snowfall as WSU and the Pullman campus as well.
Thank you very much, Grady. What we know about the family of 5 found dead in Illinois.
And how the new bill by Congress, passed by Congress, impacts you. Next on Murrow News 8.
You can achieve a lot using your imagination. I mean, I don't like to brag, but... Wait, who's that? And why is she all over these achievement awards? But with STEM, the sky's the limit. Shaboom! Use STEM to envision. Okay, I'm seeing it. Yeah. Invent.
Got any ideas?
I've got a few, actually. And create a better world.
Told you she's super smart.
If she can STEM, so can you. Find out more at She Can STEM.
It's okay to be scared. You don't have to be so strong.
Strength is not optional. This is my mother, my purpose. Real muscle is lifting her spirits between bedpans and bad news from doctors that doubt her strength. Strength is buried in bills, managing meds, and swallowing those moments of, Mom, it's me, your daughter. Remember? My strength is super, but I'm still human, right?
Look who's here. There she is. Hey, thanks for your patience. Thank you so much.
How you feel?
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community, or call 1-877-333-5885.
Earlier this week, police found 5 dead, a mother, father, grandmother, and her 2 children at a home in Illinois when they responded to a welfare check. Last night, the coroner released the identities of the victims. The children was 5-year-old Amila Kinasank and the 6-year-old Vivian. The adults were Andre, Lilia, and Vera. Police also found a dead animal. The coroner said that she has completed 4 of the 5 autopsies, and they all appear to have died from sharp force injuries. Officials say that there is no threat to the public at this time.
There will not be a rail worker strike thanks to a Thursday Senate vote on a labor agreement. Now awaiting President Biden's signature, rail worker unions had been fighting for 7 days of paid sick leave, currently one of the few industries which offers none. They had threatened to strike by December 9th, rejecting a September proposal for a raise that did not include paid leave. The Senate approved that original deal Thursday by an 80-15 vote, citing their authority to limit rail strikes. President Biden said a rail shutdown would have devastated the economy, causing shortages, spiking prices, and stopping factory production.
Back here in town, Murrow News 8's Alex McCollum and photographer Kyla Shelley visited a pub in downtown Pullman to check out the local music scene.
For over 80 years, Rico's Public House has been a staple for the Pullman music scene.
We are one of the oldest jazz clubs in the Northwest, based on records that we've seen from other jazz clubs and our timeline.
Rico's has live music several nights a week down here on the lower level. Groups like the newly formed MKJD Project draw in pretty big crowds of listeners.
WSU School of Music professor Daryl Singleton performs with several music groups 3 to 4 times a month at Rico's.
He's really reinvigorating the music scene. He's got 6 different bands. He's got a band that plays kind of a jazz Mexican folk crossover. He has a band that does this R&B jazz crossover. He's got strictly jazz bands. He's just bringing a whole kind of new energy and vibe to kind of the crossover jazz that he does.
It feels like a club. It looks like a club. It's intimate down here. I prefer, to be honest, to play in a place like this than on a stage, right? Because I like to see the people I'm playing for. I like to interact with the people. I like this type of setting better to play than a concert stage.
Charisse de Guzman says she doesn't often come to Rico's, but she loves R&B and soulful music and attending live music events.
It's just nice to get out and be able to listen to music that I love and feel relaxed, and it's a pretty low-key environment, so I don't feel like I have to dress up, just can be myself.
With photographer Kyla Shelley, I'm Alex McCollum, Murrow News 8.
Driving in town has been tricky enough this week, but heading west creates its own unique headaches for students during the holidays. Murrow News 8's DJ Rodman and Avbel Strojka offer some tips and alternatives to braving the passes this travel season.
Bookending every break at Washington State University are mass influxes of students to and from the west side. But unlike summer vacation, driving back and forth during the winter months can prove to be not only difficult, but dangerous.
In the morning time it was closed, and then going through it, it was right as they had opened up one lane, so everybody was bumper to bumper, and it was a little sketchy going through it, for sure.
Snoqualmie Pass is the fastest way for Seattle area students to get back home. Not only are the wait times a hassle, but the ground is also often covered in ice, making for dangerous drives as students traverse the mountains with steep drop-offs below. Students often drive themselves in their personal vehicles. There are also other alternatives that may be safer. The Wheatland Express offers buses running across the state for 3-day weekends, breaks, and family weekends, as well as shuttles to the Spokane Airport.
It was fine. It's nice and convenient for mostly freshman students who don't have a car. I guess I felt safer in a bus just because I could just sleep and not think about it.
While the trip to the Spokane Airport is long, the Pullman-Moscow Regional Airport also has many flight options across the state, which is a great alternative to braving the heights and roads of the pass.
Go slow and really take your time. You don't have to be in a rush to get anywhere, but definitely keep white knuckling, keep your hands on the wheel, defog your windows, and just take it easy.
If you choose to summit Snoqualmie Pass this winter for either break, be well rested, don't be afraid to take a break, and make sure your vehicle is well equipped for winter driving. In Pullman, with videographer Abel Strojka, I'm DJ Rodman, Murrow News 8.
What we know about how the Mauna Loa eruption is impacting locals in Hawaii.
And what you need to know about this week's weather. Grady Glover has you covered. Next on Murrow News 8.
Me and my boy Matt had it good. He had catnip that was off the hook. But one day, he brings a girl home, and she's allergic to cats. Every sneeze was a nail in my coffin. Now I'm in a shelter. It's decent, but they don't even have Wi-Fi.
Listen, you're my friend.
I noticed you haven't really been yourself recently.
Yeah, I feel like something's up.
How are you?
Are you okay?
Is there anything you want to talk about?
I just want to know how you're feeling.
And listen, even if you don't know what to say, I'm here to talk.
No matter what you're going through,
I just want you to know I'm here.
I've got your back. When you want to talk, I'm here.
Just this week, for the first time in 38 years, Mauna Loa, a volcano in Hawaii, erupted. Officials say no one is in danger. This eruption is threatening to overrun the biggest bypass connecting the west side, Kona, and the east side on the Big Island with lava. This is normally an easy way for residents of the island to commute from one side to another. Many rely on it for daily commutes. Officials have limited roadways on the island, and it is causing backups. I saw some sunshine on my walk into the studio this morning, and it feels like it's been forever since it's been sunny. Grady, is there any chance this sun is going to last?
Unfortunately, Alex, no. And that is unfortunate, but I had a similar thought walking to class today, got really excited. And as you can see, 29, partly sunny, a little sunshine right there. Low is going to be about 18 degrees. Wind is going to be negligible there. We're going to keep getting slower and lower. Sunset right at 4:01 p.m. That's going to be about as early as the sun is going to set. As you look tomorrow, it should be right around 4:01 again. So tomorrow, 30 degrees, 4:01 sunset again, a little bit warmer, 20 degrees. And then as you go statewide, really the only place that's going to have any abnormal weather is going to be the Pass. The Pass is getting 1 to 3 inches of snow today. However, Seattle, Olympia, a little bit warmer, up into that 40 range, and then Yakima, Tri-Cities, going to be sitting there right around 30 degrees, and then Spokane and Pullman are going to be the coldest all the way over there on the east side. And then if we go to the 5-day forecast, like I said, it's going to be not too bad. The only thing we're looking at for snow-wise is going to be Sunday. 1/2 inch to 1 inch is about all you're going to see there. And as I take a step off, you can take a full screen view right there, and the temperatures are going to be pretty consistent right in that high to mid 20s, right over to the low 30s. Tomorrow is going to be the highest temperature, and that's pretty much all I got for you. Tuesday, Wednesday, look out for a small chance of snow, but pretty much looking cloudy for the rest of the next 5 days. Send it back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Grady. Looks like it's time to break out my UV light and start fighting that seasonal affective disorder. An update on Antonio Brown's run-ins with the law.
And a preview of the United States' next matchup, next on Murrow News 8.
You can achieve a lot using your imagination. I mean, I don't like to brag, but... Wait, who's that? And why is she all over these achievement awards? But with STEM, the sky's the limit. Shaboom! Use STEM to envision. Okay, I'm seeing it. Yeah. Invent.
Got any ideas?
I've got a few, actually. And create a better world.
Told you she's super smart.
If she can STEM, so can you. Find out more at She Can STEM.
It's okay to be scared. You don't have to be so strong.
Strength is not optional. This is my mother, my purpose. Real muscle is lifting her spirits between bedpans and bad news from doctors that doubt her strength. Strength is buried in bills, managing meds, and swallowing those moments of, Mom, it's me, your daughter. Remember? My strength is super, but I'm still human, right?
Look who's here. There she is. Hey, thanks for your patience.
How you feel?
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community, or call 1-877-333-5885.
Pac-12 play started in Eugene yesterday for the Cougs, and they didn't get off to the start they had hoped for. WSU lost 74-60 after the Cougs only shot 21% from the three-point line. The team was led by sophomore guard Mohamed Gay, who had 19 points with 15 in the first half. Oregon is listed as the tallest team in the country, and this year without Andre Jamovsky and Deshaun Jackson, the Cougs failed to match up down low in the second half. Head coach Kyle Smith said something about the lack of size, however, as WSU football player Jack Wilson walked onto the team. He is listed as 6'11" and will help with the Cougs' presence down low. The Cougs are back at home on Sunday to take on Utah at 1 p.m. in Beasley Coliseum. Women's basketball is back in action tonight at home as they take on the Montana Grizzlies. The Cougs are 5-1 and fresh off a 20-point win over South Dakota State, and they are being led by Charlize Leger-Walker, who is averaging over 20 points per game. And this season, Bella Murricatete is the Cougs' second leading scorer and is averaging almost 9 rebounds per game, very close to a double-double. The Montana Grizz are 2-4 this season and are led by Sammy Fatkin, who is averaging 13.8 points per game. Tip-off is at 6 p.m. in Beasley Coliseum tonight. Keeping it in basketball with the Cougs on the NBA circuit, though, Klay Thompson continues to climb the record books with another chance tonight. Tuesday, the Coug great rose to 15th on the all-time three-point scorers list in NBA history. And tonight will be his Warriors will take on the Bulls with a couple more spots in this series. He's now 3 behind Dirk Nowitzki and 9 behind Jason Kidd, so he could pass them tonight. He's hit 9 3-pointers in a game 9 times in his career. Bulls-Warriors tips off at 7 p.m. tonight. And then the last 2 games of the World Cup group stage are currently underway, although I think they are wrapping up. Switzerland is currently up 3-2 on Serbia, while the other game is between Brazil and Cameroon is scoreless. As results hold, and if these are correct, Switzerland will be moving on with Brazil, who had already clinched a spot in the next round. Earlier this morning, South Korea beat Portugal 2-1 to advance to the knockout stages. They were tied on points and goal differential, with Uruguay advancing on the goals for tiebreaker. Even with the loss, Portugal still topped the group and advanced. The United States plays in their round of 16 matchup with the Netherlands tomorrow on 7 a.m. on Fox. The Dutch will be a tough matchup for the United States, so let's take a look at these keys. In order for the U.S. to get into the quarterfinals, they are going to have to stay strong defensively. The Dutch have scored in every single World Cup game this tournament and have scored 2 goals twice in games against Qatar and Senegal. The U.S. has not allowed a goal from open play at all this tournament, shutting out in 2 games, and the only goal that they've allowed was on a penalty kick from Gareth Bale. The U.S. is going to need to control set pieces, although they have not been super sharp on them so far this tournament, scoring 0 goals. The close matches come down to set pieces, which is why they're important. And finally, with the news that Christian Pulisic will be playing, the U.S. will need an individual piece of skill to beat Virgil van Dijk and the Netherlands, one of the best defenders in the world. Watch out for Serginho Dest to show his quality for the United States. Former Tampa Bay Buccaneers wide receiver Antonio Brown is reportedly engaged in a standoff with police and has locked himself in his South Tampa home. The warrant is for an alleged misdemeanor battery from an incident on November 28th. This is not the first time Antonio Brown has made the news recently, as he has had a streak of incidents. About a year ago, in the middle of a Buccaneers game against the New York Jets, Antonio Brown left the field in the middle of the game, taking off his pads, jersey, gloves, throwing them into the stands. Antonio Brown has also been sued for allegedly throwing furniture off of a 14th floor hotel balcony and nearly hitting a 22-month-old child. He also, back in May, was swimming at an outdoor pool at a hotel with no clothes on, repeatedly shoving his private parts near a woman who was also swimming at the pool while other hotel guests were in attendance. Just another page in the AB saga.
With the holidays fully underway, what you need to know about safely spreading cheer, next on Murrow News 8.
Me and my boy Matt had it good. He had catnip that was off the hook. But one day, he brings a girl home, and she's allergic to cats. Every sneeze was a nail in my coffin. Now I'm in a shelter. It's decent, but they don't even have Wi-Fi.
Listen, you're my friend.
I noticed you haven't really been yourself recently.
Yeah, I feel like something's up.
How are you?
Are you okay?
Is there anything you want to talk about?
I just want to know how you're feeling.
And listen, even if you don't know what to say, I'm here to talk.
No matter what you're going through,
I just want you to know I'm here.
I've got your back. When you want to talk, I'm here.
The Sigma Phi Epsilon fraternity will be Christmas caroling from 4:15 to 5:30 p.m. tomorrow. They're starting off singing for kids at the Pullman Heritage Depot. Then they'll make their way to the outdoor space next to Thomas Hammer Coffee Roasters. If you feel like caroling with friends this year, we do have some tips on staying safe. Remember to move in groups, dress extra warm, only go to homes of people you know, share your location with a friend, and let them know when you're home safely.
You know, I'm actually in Sigma Phi Epsilon, so that's my fraternity, and it is a really cool thing. I'm a senior this year, and it's been something that we've been doing for the last 4 or 5 years, really good way to get out and give back to the community. And then even when I'm back home, I've sang at retirement homes and things like that, and again, it's just a really great way to just get out there and meet people that you wouldn't see throughout your day.
Emmett, have you ever gone Christmas caroling before?
I have not, but I'm interested to hear what Grady's singing voice sounds like.
Well, I will say we did a practice yesterday, so we're going to be dialed in. The one thing that's really interesting is there's a Christmas song. It's about the figgy pudding, and I just forgot how much it talks about like how badly you want the pudding. So I'm really excited about that one. That's going to be probably my favorite one to sing tomorrow.
All right, thank you so much for watching. If you missed anything in this or any of our previous newscasts, you can always watch us on our YouTube channel.
More news can be found at nwpb.org/mn8, and you can follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Have a good rest of your day.